The research is telling us that risky alcohol use has the potential to limit our children's potential. And what I mean by that is as they drink more, they potentially damage their problem-solving capacity. It may have impact on their short and their long-term memory. And what this means in practical terms is that they may do less well, for example, in their exams. It might be a subtle difference, the difference between getting a B plus and a C plus. But of course, that can have a lasting impact on their capacity throughout the rest of their life.
I'm a burns surgeon, and on a daily basis almost, I see young people whose lives have been changed in an instant and will stay that way for a very long time, if not forever. And when you peel it all back, the choices they've made around alcohol have led to a series of events that have left them with a lifelong injury.
Young people live in a world where alcohol is readily available, and even if they don't have alcohol problems themselves, they may be at risk from other people's drinking. So that means it's important to talk to all young people about how they can avoid the risks associated with alcohol. It's not the best time to talk about alcohol at 2 in the morning when tempers are frayed and problems have already arisen. What is important is that we recognise that young people are exposed to alcohol problems from a very early age. So as they get to 11, 12, 13 years old, we should be talking about what risks they might see in the community and how they might avoid those risks. In fact, a very good way to raise the issue of alcohol with young people is to talk about issues that might arise in a movie that they're watching or a television series. Ask them if it's something that they might have seen elsewhere as it happened to any of their friends. And sometimes talking about how they might help their friends is a good way for them to learn about how they might avoid risks themselves. But what's really important is that parents recognise that what they think about alcohol actually does matter to children. There's some increasing evidence that if we communicate to young people about what our expectations are about alcohol, whether or not we want them to drink, communicating that expectation to a child actually makes a difference. Of course, lots of parents will say, well, their peers, as they become teenagers, their peers are more influential. And there's no doubt that peer influence does make a big difference. But we also should recognise that parents can influence who the peers are. So knowing where your children are, knowing who they're with, communicating with them about what you expect and why, negotiating with them when they're going to be home, and making sure that they are home when they're supposed to be. All of these things have been shown to reduce risk. We also know that creating a safe, harmonious family environment is a great preventive. Children who live in a home where there's a lot of conflict, where there's poor communication, are much more at risk of alcohol-related harm. So of course, ensuring that your children live in an environment that's safe, where there's good communication, where you can talk and negotiate about risks and so on, makes a big difference to the risks that your children might experience in relation to alcohol.